All right, good evening. We want to say good evening to everyone. And I'm sure people are getting ready to get on in. I'm pulling up my Facebook and YouTube. Let's see. Did it go live yet? Not yet. It's getting ready to. There it goes. We are live now. We're excited for this conversation that we're going to have tonight. Such a wonderful time. We're so excited about it. I'm going to just a minute share my page. At least I think I am if it's going to let me. Okay, there it goes. Okay, join us now. I'm so excited. Join us now. Um, I want to say, hope everybody had a wonderful day, awesome service time, and we're so excited. Our bishop is not going to be with us tonight. He is over at the Interfaith Worship Service. Um, it was crowded over there, just having all the different worship. Um, what I want to say, interfaith, so different nationalities and different beliefs, and just getting together and worshiping, dealing with Martin Luther King. So what a beautiful time. Different people are in the place, so we're excited about that. But on tonight, words for the soul come to uplift, to encourage you, to let you know that you're loved, and God has a special plan for your life. And we are excited for our guest and our resident guest, that not our resident guest, our resident wellness person. Pray for Donna. Her sister is in crisis right now. So as they're going to the doctors, you just pray traveling grace, and that God would heal, give the doctors wisdom on what to do. But we have Dr. Yolanda on today and Dr. Epps. We are so excited for these two phenomenal women. Woo! They know their stuff and we are ready. So, all right, we need some people to jump on in to like, tag, and share and let them know that we're on. So, Dr. Yolanda, tell us a little something about yourself, and then we'll have Dr. Epps say something, and then we'll start with our questions.
So I am Dr. Yolanda Jones, and I am a mental wellness counselor as well as a disciple of True Vine International Church.
Woohoo! All right, Dr. Epps.
Yeah. All right, True Vine. So I'm Dr. Fayron Epps, professor and endowed chair of caregiving research at UT Health San Antonio, or UT San Antonio. I'm a nurse, and I'm also the founder of the Alter program, where we partner with True Vine International.
Woo! Yay! Yes, yes, yes. We are so excited. And even before we start the questions on the day, Dr. Yolanda, you want to share a little bit about what we're going to be doing at True Vine with the Altar program and how it started out and the excitement of what the people had this morning?
Ooh.
So first of all, we started this morning just making sure people even knew the difference between dementia and Alzheimer's. And I'll even say for myself, before I dug into the research, the funny part is I always considered dementia, the way I explain it to make it easy for my understanding, I always made dementia be the little baby, and like Alzheimer's was the big baby or the big show. And come to find out, when you think about that umbrella, it's really dementia that's the big umbrella. And Alzheimer's hangs down from that umbrella, kind of like how when we think about the cancer, you have cancer and then the different forms of cancer. So you have dementia and then you have the different forms and where Alzheimer's come in. So we were able to do that explanation and just talk about cognitive health and talk about those cognitive strengths and then the different phases of Alzheimer's, like the mild stage, the middle stage, and the extreme stage, and just learning about if you meet a person that has it and you don't even know that person, but they're in distress, how can you help them? How can you be of service until you can get them to a safe place? Which is one of the things a lot of us are wellness champions. So that's something that we also need to add to our repertoire or our toolbox of,
Yeah.
the different phases of life of people you might meet. So that was one of the things that we talked about. We definitely talked about our favorite scriptures and
Yes.
different things. And one of the activities that we'll have coming up soon is we're going to do a prayer board and a scripture board, kind of like how you do the vision boards, but it's good for the beginning stages because as people progress, with their Alzheimer's, that's like one of those memory things that they can go back to. But also, if they've been rehearsing it, it kind of sticks sometimes. But in those moments of where do I go from here, there's a resource where you can have it already posted somewhere. And our idea was like putting it in a frame and go ahead and put it on your wall, or even if you post it to like your mirror in the bathroom, like that's where I put my messages of affirmation to myself. So those one of our activities that we were coming up with. We definitely talked about the word searches and the crossword puzzles and just eating healthy overall, and how to start making sure you're living a life to prepare yourself for whether you have it or not. Because in our honesty, what we eat, the exercises, and everything goes into our life at the end and goes to the different diseases and things that we can end up having. We also talked about the African American population
Yes.
that has Alzheimer's that we didn't even know, and how by 2020, was it 2020, 50, how
Yeah.
there's the estimated to have 16 million people just in the United States alone with Alzheimer's. So that was like a brief summary of what we talked about this morning in
Then it
our
was
introduction to the Alter program, as well as just learning about dementia and Alzheimer's altogether.
yeah, and we have a few people in our church that are caregivers for those that have dementia and Alzheimer's. So this has been wonderful, great information. People are like, okay, I need to hear about this. So Dr. Farron, thank you so much for being on. And so I want you to know we're excited. So I just had a little have to share a little bit about that. So with our first question, what lifestyle changes, diets, because you just brought that in, Dr. Yolanda, diet, exercises, sleep, and mental activities are recommended for those who are experience dementia or Alzheimer's, or also the caregivers.
Yeah. So you want me, Dr. Yolanda, you want me to go and speak about this?
Oh yes, ma'am. You
Yeah.
have the floor.
So y'all, this is really important for 2026. Y'all going to hear so much about lifestyle changes because of a
Okay.
recent study that the results came out last summer showing evidence that lifestyle changes can reduce your risk of dementia. And
Okay.
so if you have a minute, Google US pointer study, and then there's something that's called the brain health recipe. All right. And so I want to make sure, True Vine, you all print it out, put it on the bulletin board. It's a nice little recipe of all different things that you can be doing as it relates to your lifestyle so it can reduce your risk. And those things do encompass for the items that you mentioned about sleep, activity, exercise, eating right. And usually when I go out in the community, I talk about 6 pillars, right? But there's so many things you could do. But I say if we can start with these first 6, then that is really good. And number one is being social. And that is getting out, engaging with people, going to church, going to activities, because when you don't engage, you become isolated. Isolation leads to depression. Depression is a risk factor for dementia. So we have to make sure we get out. And if we don't come outside the house, I think, and as I'm speaking to my to True Vine, we have
Yes.
to be intentional and making sure we call on those that's not coming to church. Have
Yes.
conversations with them. They need to have that type of stimulation. So it's so important. So that's number one. Number two is challenging your brain. So cognitive stimulation. So not just the social, but we need cognitively need to challenge our brain. And many of us do crossword puzzles, and that's fine and dandy. And for those that's doing the crossword puzzles, I'm gonna call y'all out. I need you to up the level. I need you to get the
Yeah.
harder book, because when I say challenging activities, I want you to be where you on that crossword puzzle and it takes you about 3 minutes or more to even try to figure it one word out.
Yeah.
Um, you really want to challenge your brain. If it's learning a new language, music, many states have programs. If you're over 60 or so, you can go back to school for free. And I know we don't want to go back to school, but think about your brain health. What
Yeah.
can I learn new? You want to challenge games on our phone. up the level because we like to win. I like to win, but as it relates to brain health, we need to challenge our brains.
Right. Yes.
Number
Yes.
three is stress. So you want to reduce your stress. Stress is a killer, and I think we've been taught that
Yeah.
stress will put you in your grave, and y'all, it's the truth,
Right. It's
but
the
it
truth.
also messes up our brain health and puts us at risk for dementia. And as Black people, we have stress that we can control and stress that we can control. So,
Right.
because of the color of our skin, we're faced with these unique experiences. Some might identify as racial discrimination, but we have unique experiences we deal with every day. And it's they cause us stress, and it's like stress that we've just taken on. And so that has shown to be able it's shown to have cognitive decline, especially in Black men.
Okay.
So that means the stress we can manage, y'all, we have to be on top of it.
Ooh, that's good.
So if that's your kids calling you every 5 minutes and they stressing you out, that means you don't answer your phone every 5 minutes.
That's it.
It's things like that. We have to protect our peace. If it's meditation, spending time in your Bible, whatever that allows you to just exhale. I
Oh,
really want you all to think about what you can do for that. So that's number three. Number four is physical exercise. So y'all know we supposed to be working out. Y'all know that we got our hair and all of
yes.
this. But I want you to think you want to increase your heart rate. And if you're a person that perspire or sweats, you want to be able to sweat. That's the type of workout we want. And just what can we do? So me, when I know I'm about to get my hair done, maybe for those 3 days before, I really work out. So it's just trying to balance that out. But we do need physical exercise because that reduces your risk of hypertension, diabetes, all of these conditions
Yeah.
that result from us not exercising, right? And so then the blood doesn't get to flow, it stops, it clots, and does all of that stuff that leads to vascular dementia. And the next one, I'm on number four,
Mhm.
sleep. So we should be having 7 to 9 hours of sleep. So it's a damage to your brain when you don't have enough sleep. It's a damage to your brain if you sleep too much.
Mhm.
So the magic number is 7 to 9, and that's when your brain, that's what allows the plaques and tangles that cause Alzheimer's disease, that type of dementia. It flushes that out. So sleep is important, and I'm gonna tell you, I already know people like, well, I do get 7 hours because I take an hour nap here and I do another hour nap here. And that's not the 7 hours I'm talking about. I'm talking about consecutive hours. So, as Black people, I'm gonna acknowledge how we were raised, but
Okay.
we can operate off of 4 hours like that. Oh,
Yeah.
we were raised where we pride ourselves on that, but then also our situation may mean we have to work 3 jobs where we cannot get the 7 hours of sleep. And so I want to acknowledge that, and I just ask you to try to get more than
Okay.
what you're already doing. So set those small goals. And the last thing, I feel like I'm taking up the whole time, but
That's okay. This is good. This is good.
the last one is eating right. And that kind of ties in with the exercise. And I do not promote a specific diet. I just would tell you what's good for your heart is good for your brain. And the American Heart
Okay.
Association did an amazing job in the early 30s, early 2000s about what's good for your heart, reducing stroke, so you want low cholesterol, low salt intake, decrease fried foods. Those are the things, y'all. I'm not going to say we cut it out because all of our cultures are different. We're
Different.
coming to
Yes.
the table with different cultures. I ask that you do it in moderation. And when you start training your body, so now when I go back home to New Orleans, I used to can eat a shrimp po' boy every day.
All right now.
Now I can only do half of a one during my visit
Mm.
because I have trained my body and now my body cannot take that salt
Mhm.
intake. And so again, it's just about moderation. Um, there's so much literature about what meats do. If you go to a vegetarian diet, all of that, I just say find what works for you
Okay.
and really pay attention to your diet. And as True Vine, I will challenge you all, if you do any activities and fellowship, be mindful of the food that you serve, right?
Now
You
that's
use
good.
a bottle. Y'all have a bottle. So, we don't want fried foods, and we may want that baked chicken, and have making sure we have the salad, all the different colors that should be on the plate. Um,
Yeah.
and so those are the things, because we're just setting that tone, because that's so, so important. If we want to curb these statistics by 2050, where we won't see those numbers that they're predicting, these are some of the things we need to do. But remember, brain health recipe and a US pointer study, and I'll be back later in the year if y'all would have me
Yes,
back
yes, we will.
Yes.
Yes, for
for
sure.
material about that, because that's what 2026 is going to be all about, these lifestyle changes.
You said something this morning. We had breakfast after the training. We didn't have healthy breakfast. So that just said, you know what? We have to change. And so I will let everyone know from now on, we have to have healthy things.
Oh, they gonna get that. They gonna say, "What is that, Dr. Farron?" At?
Oh, because it was smelling good. We had bacon and stuffed biscuits and gravy, and ooh, it was wonderful. Oh my goodness. But next time we're gonna have some fruit. I love it. I love it. Thank you for that. That's so good. Overseer, thank you for joining us tonight. Hopefully you guys go ahead and like, tag, and share. Let people know that we're on. I saw you, Vaughn, that you were on. Let me see who else is on that I can see that came on tonight. Stacy, thank you. Who's that? Rhonda Brown. Thank you, Rhonda. Thank you for joining us today. Sister Irene, we appreciate y'all being on. Let people know that we're on. We're talking about caregiving, and Dr. Epps just gave us some phenomenal tips. If you look through the chat, she gave us their 6 pillars of what we could do to strengthen ourselves. So we want to continue to share that. And so that was really funny. I felt kind of bad. I said, we went and did not eat healthy afterwards, but we ate well. So our next question is, what legal financial planning tools, power of attorney, advance directives should we set up now? In the beginning of the stages people are having, or the later stages? What would you say, Dr. Epps, that we need to be doing? And then Dr. Yolanda.
Well, I would say, I want to first acknowledge every family is different,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the things that they may have, and your assets. And so anytime a family comes to me, I say the first thing they should do is consult with a lawyer or elder care attorney.
Mm-hmm.
It is so important. And some of them, they give free consultations, or sometimes you may have to pay however many dollars it is. But to me, it will be worth it, so they can look at, what do you have? Do you need a irrevocable trust? Do you need a trust? It's things like that we
Right.
need to think about, because if you're in your early stages, and if this progresses and you live 20 years, you're caring for someone that lives 20 years with a dementia diagnosis, things are going to progress where they're going to need more help. And so in order for you to apply for some assistant programs, you have to be below a certain income. So you want to think ahead. And if you put your money in a trust, then they cannot go back. It's so many different things. I always say that. And then having your living will, and then your power of attorneys. There's two different types. You have your medical power of attorney, and then you have your financial power of attorney. And this is something that the attorneys can break it down to you and explain to you what is needed. And you can have a durable power of attorney where one person will do both. And so it's just what meets your needs. I always tell individuals, if you're waiting, because some people like, they just think attorney, think about so much money. But I say, man, that investment of, if it's $1,000 or $2,000,
Mm-hmm.
would save you $200,000 in the end, save you all of your retirement. So it's things we want to think about. If you can go to the bank, and if you're a family member who may be exhibiting signs and symptoms of dementia, will put you on their account, that would help for you to monitor the expenses. And as things progress, you will have access to that.
All right.
And so you want to be kind of mindful of that, but then we want to be careful who they put on the account. and get a relationship with the bank. So, especially if you're in a small town, it is so important that you go in, like I did with my mom. She said, "Come into the bank." I didn't want to go, but I need to meet the banker.
There you go.
So they know if something goes on different with spending, I gave them my information and I
Mhm.
have theirs. You want to develop a relationship with the bank that your family member frequents. You really want to develop that relationship because everything is fine and dandy now, but y'all, it can be any day that it the disease decides to progress to that next step
Mhm.
and you want to be prepared. And so I really promote being proactive. So, Dr. Yolanda, I'll pass it to you to see if there's any local things or anything else you would like to share.
I definitely agree with everything you said. And I just want to put this caveat. It doesn't even just pertain to Alzheimer's and dementia. We need to be proactive in all of our things because life is life and you never know what's going to happen. So those are some things that you just want in place. But I would also check my local area. I know here in San Antonio, we have St. Mary's Law School. So sometimes you can go to them and get free consultation because it's helping the law students, giving them the opportunity to practice before they actually become lawyers. And then they're supervised by professors that sit in. So they do have like a clinic. So if
Mhm.
you're limited in your resources and actually being able to even go talk to a lawyer, that's some things you can do. Y'all know we all Google crazy in this day and
Yeah.
age in the younger group. So there, because you definitely have to pay attention to what state you are in, because
Right.
every state has different laws of what can happen and what can't happen. So you want to make sure whatever you're looking up on your own that you're actually put in the state. Don't just Google the question. Make Google work for you in the best way. So tell Google what state that you're looking for this information to kind of narrow down your answer and get you a better answer as opposed to just being broad. Um, in most places, you have the number, the 211 that you
Right.
can call that gives you resources. We usually think that it only gives us financial resources, but there are other resources that they can give you as well and lead you into the direction of community places that do have attorneys that are pro bono. So those are also things to look for. And even when you're looking into attorneys, just like you said, build a relationship with the bank. You have to build a relationship with your attorney. So you have to have those questions ready to ask them because whoever you're going to have speaking on your behalf and teaching you knowledge, you want to be able to have that relationship with them as well and
Right.
kind of let them know something about your family so that they know how to navigate the best possible scenario for your situation.
That's good. And those who are military, don't forget you can go to JAG. JAG. When I was in the military, that's what I used to do power of attorneys. So, and that's free for you. So use your resources. Sometimes we forget. So if you are a veteran and ever go to JAG or the VA and have them write you a power of attorney. So
Oh, that's
awesome.
good. Yeah, and
Yeah.
don't forget, even if you need something signed, a lot of times I see people looking for notaries and not to take business from anyone, but a
Uh,
lot of times your local bank will do notary stuff
yes.
for you for free. So
Yes.
that's another avenue that you can have because sometimes it's just as simple as having a document that you need notarized. So
That's it.
another resource is your local bank. A lot of times they do the notary for you for free as well.
All right now. I like it. All right. Hey, Sister Sonia, thank you for jumping on. Oh, we just did that one. So let me ask you this. How do I choose a caregiver and what support resources, support groups, respite are available for them? And for those who are on the line today that are already caregivers, if you don't mind sharing some of the caregiving groups or organizations that you're with, and that may be some information that we can share with other people as well. And if they have been very effective for you, put that in the chat. And I love this because we are getting to the place where we're wanting to do support groups at our church as well. So whoever wants to pick up first, we go ahead and dive on in.
Well, I mean, I can
Okay.
pick up. I was trying to look for this flyer because with True Vine being a partner with the altar, we have partnered with Sisters Who Care. I'm
Oh,
gonna look for the flyer, but they can provide 12 hours of in-home care
woohoo.
for members that are part of Altar Church in the San Antonio area. And so, and this is free, and they will send this in and they will help meal prep, clean, do whatever. And only the
Ooh.
criteria is that this person is dependent or they
Mhm.
recently got out the hospital and so their family member needs some assistance. They can even bring them to doctor's appointments if it's within a certain area. And so I'm going to make sure I share that information.
Yes.
Uh,
Woo.
yeah, I'm gonna look it up. And so, Dr. Yolanda, after you finish speaking, I'll probably have that information. But it is very hard. I've heard so many families say, I can't find a good caregiver to come in and help. And really, like, I look at this work as my ministry. A good caregiver will look at this as their calling in ministry as well. It takes a special
Mm,
person, and we have to recognize that, and that doesn't come easy, and you may have to go through a couple. But one of the things is, when you're interviewing for a caregiver, write down what are those things that you need
Mhm.
and your expectations up
yeah.
front. Let's do that. A lot of problems come when we don't give them our expectations, and so in our we have them in our head, but we
Right.
never express it. And so when we come home or we come back and we're like, but this wasn't this, and he's still sitting in the same position. Well, we need to give instructions and
Oh,
also share expectations. And so, and there's nothing wrong with that. And as it relates to support groups, I'm so glad TrueVine is thinking about starting a support group. But the Alzheimer's Association also have support groups
oh,
that's available, and you can work with them. They will help train actually somebody at your church to be a facilitator if need be. But as Black people, let's acknowledge this. We don't like telling people our business. Yeah, that's just what it is. I don't care what part of the country you're in. That's just something
yes.
that is has been instilled in us from the beginning. You don't tell nobody your business, and so it's so hard for us to go in a support group because you have to open up, right?
Yes.
You have to tell
Yes.
people what's going on, and in return, they're able to share with you and hopefully support. And I think as a Black people, y'all, we have to open up. We cannot do this alone. You truly
Cannot.
need a village, and as a caregiver, you need that support group because sometimes your own family is not going to understand what you're going through because they are not assuming any of the caring duties, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
so it's going to be only you being able to connect with others that are in these in a shared space or doing these caring duties like you are, that can be able to relate to you. And they're
Wow.
not going to look at you like you crazy, and they're not going to say, well, that's your job because you're the oldest. They won't say that. They're going to be there because they're going to fully understand. So it's so important to find a support group. There's also, think about what you need help. Many caregivers, they I'm gonna do it all, but then they say they need help, but then I'm gonna do it all. And when I come and we say, well, we want to help you, what we need to do, you don't know what to give them. You
Hmm.
don't know what to tell them. And so also, when you assume the role of a caregiver, care partner, write down, what would you need assistance if anybody was to ask you, getting
Oh,
groceries,
this is good. This is
filling
good.
filling up your tank. What is it? Cutting grass. Sometimes it may not be giving direct care to your family member.
Yeah.
What else can help you on this journey? And just write that down. And so when someone says, hey, what can I do to help? You don't have to sit there and think. You can say, oh, well, there's some things right here on my list. And there's nothing wrong with doing that, y'all.
Oh, that's so good. That is good. I like that. And Dr. Yolanda and I were laughing because NAMI reached out to us and they want to train
Okay.
us how to be facilitators. And as you were talking about that, and then we have senior support. Oh my goodness. You watch out. True Vine Elevation, True Vine International Church. We are going to be ready. Those who are watching, if you want to come to training, we're going to get introduction of being a facilitator next Sunday. Well, this upcoming Sunday at 9:15. Come and hear. And then we'll get some more information for Dr. Epps. I tell you, we're going to be ready. So people come into the community, we're going to say, yes, we have been trained and we have, listen to me. I'm enjoying this conversation.
I love it.
Dr. Yolanda, do you have anything?
But I was gonna piggyback on what you were saying because that was the same thing I was thinking is like, I wanted to take this opportunity to let people know that that's one of the things that we're hitting is talking about Alzheimer's. So if you don't have somewhere that you're already connected with, or you have someone that's struggling, they need resources, then now is the perfect time for you to mingle on over with Truvine and get with us so that you can get some of these additional resources. Because if you did hear Dr. Elps, you heard her say, you had to be a part of an altar program for some of these resources. And that's who we are. We're in partnership with the altar program. So we already have access to these things. So just come on over to True Vine International Church so you can get hooked up with some of these resources that we have going on.
I like that.
Yeah,
Man,
and I just got it. So it is Sisters Care, in home care, and it's called the Neighbor in Faith program.
okay.
So I'm gonna email you all this flyer, but if you want to write this number down, it's 210-733-9800.
Can you
210.
repeat it?
Yeah.
210-733-9800.
Hmm.
And this is 12 hours of free in-home assistance provided by Sisters Care in-home care. You get 3 in-home visits, which are 4 hours each within a 2-week period, and it's personal assistance from trained caregivers while you're recovering from a surgery, just got out the hospital, you have an illness or injury, medications, meal prep, companionship, housekeeping, mobility support, and so much more that they're able to provide. And so when you call, you just let them know that you're part of an altar church and you want to be participating in the Neighbors in Faith program. And after these 12 hours, if you will still like them to work with you, then you will, they was, because of course, you can do private pay, or if you cannot afford the $29 an hour, that's how much it is, y'all. Then you would say, do you have a scholarship? Can I apply for assistance? Because they also have that, but they will not offer it. You have to ask for it.
Wow. That's good.
So
Yeah.
yeah, and so we do 12 hours times $29. I just think this is great, that they are at least being able to help us out and help our community out with
Yeah.
this.
Ooh, that is so good. All right, those who, if you've not had a chance to like, tag, and share, it's time for y'all to go ahead and like, tag, and share. Let somebody know this is great information that is being shared on tonight. Ooh, my goodness. I don't know about you, but I'm excited.
I am
I am
too.
so I am so excited about what is going on in this altar program and our partnership. There's something about collaborating with others. How do I understand what my loved one's behavior? Now, this is something that I know is really informative for those who are doing caregiving. Like if they're pulling at clothes or communicating hunger, discomfort, and noise, what are we supposed to understand about that? What do we do, and how do we walk alongside someone so we're not getting angry with them because they're not able to communicate maybe effectively, then we're not understanding what they're saying to us.
So I think with this, again, everybody's different. But when they are doing those behaviors, I always tell family to pay attention because they're trying to communicate something to you.
Yeah.
Right. And it could be letting you know that they are hungry. It could be letting you know they're in pain. It could be letting you know they feel unsafe. So it
Mhm.
could be something like that. And so you have to pay attention. And when you ask you to pay attention, that is paying attention what happened before they start exhibiting that behavior is so, so important. So if someone new came in that room,
Wow.
and
Okay.
all of a sudden they exhibiting this different type of behavior, pause right there. What's going on? Did this person is making them feel unsafe? Has this person done something to them 50 years ago? Y'all know things happened back in the day.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
About
Yes.
And so it could be something like that. And so as a caregiver, don't get frustrated at your family member or the person that's living with dementia. Please don't, because it's something they're trying to communicate to you, and it's not them. It's this disease that's impairing them to really get it out. If they have a particular type of dementia, it's called expressive variant of frontal temporal dementia. Their communication is off. They
Okay.
can't get the words out. They just gonna be some of them just like just blah 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 blabbing here and there, and so you don't know what's going on. So that in that case, it's important to know the type of dementia they have, because
Okay.
that's just part of the disease. They may not be trying to let you know that they're hungry or anything like that. If they're pulling at their clothes, again, let's think about this. What or that can mean so much. So you got to know your person, and you got to know what has happened right before for that. Dr. Yolanda, anything you would like to add?
That right there makes me think about as a new mom with a new baby. How do you learn your baby? How do you understand the cry of that baby versus being hungry versus needing to be changed? I think you go back to the same thing. You have to know your person, learn that person, take time to be observant. And the more you watch and evaluate, then you start learning what those different things mean if they can't articulate it. And again, like you say, pay attention. When did it happen? Did a certain person walk in a room or not? So I think you have to be careful of making sure you do all of those things. So basically, evaluating and researching the person. Without being judgmental or without being upset, take a look and stop and be like, okay, what is going on? Pulling their clothes. Maybe you changed the laundry detergent and that particular fabric is irritating them now. So those are all the things you just got to start researching, just like you would if it was a child or anyone else that can't really tell you what's going on. You slow down and you start looking. You're being observant. So you have to do the same thing for them and kind of figure out. And if you know the person, then you start thinking about, because sometimes as a caregiver, you're with your daily routine of brushing, and
Yeah.
you don't stop to think, what did that person like, or what did they do before this? Did you take them out of their normal routine and out of their comfort zone and just threw them into your comfort zone? So
Mm.
they're going to be agitated about that. So you got to think about that. Okay, what did I change for them?
Right. That's good.
If you relocate them from where they're living to a new living space or your living space because you're trying to make everything convenient, you got to take those small steps with those things because that's a major life change that you're putting in a person that's already going through a life change. So you got to start looking at all of those different things and evaluating. But more than anything, see that person. We have a thing we like to say, Sayabana, I see you. Guess what? You have to see that person that is dealing with Alzheimer's as well, because that's the only way you're going to understand the new language that they're now using to talk to you. And the only way you're going to do that is by paying attention and slowing down and just like
Mm.
being in the moment. Don't rush everything.
Oh,
Just take a breather, exhale, and just think about it.
I like that. Be in the moment, taking your time. I see you. That's a big thing. And that's for those who are caregivers. As you're taking so much time for them, make sure you get a chance to see yourself. And for those that we know are caregivers and dealing with people that are watching over people with dementia, let's be intentional to call our caregivers and say, do you need some time for yourself just to breathe? And I think Dr. Ebb said, and if you're a caregiver, you need to ask somebody to help you out sometime and say, would you give me an hour? I don't, and we don't got to be nosy. And it may just be for you. And you gave an example, just want to go sit down on the thing and just breathe. And you go in and you may just sit with somebody. When someone asks you to do something, don't be asking a whole lot of questions. They didn't ask you, don't ask. Being present in the moment. Your presence makes a difference. And so, hey, Minister Camille, thank you for joining. And who else did I see? Tanya, thank you for getting on. Y'all go ahead and like, tag, and share. This is good. All right. So let me go to our next question. What strengths help when redirection isn't enough? Ooh. What
Which
strategies help when redirection isn't enough? Oh, I think about that with my grandbaby. Oh,
I was like, that's a classroom teacher.
yeah. You know what? It is so many different things you can do. I know Emery, our 2-year-old grandbaby, and I think I learned it when I was with Donna when we were at NAMI. There's certain things like yarning back into the present. You can just do a yarn and it bring you back into the present. But if she drinks or her water bottle, that sucking, that sensation makes her to think about what she's doing, and it stops her from getting upset about different things. So there's different strategies that we can do to help redirection. So um, y'all share in the chat. I need to see some more stuff going on in the chat. What are some of the things that y'all do to redirect? And so whoever wants to start off this one, let's go. And y'all share what some of the things you do to redirect.
I'll
I
let you.
know for me, one of the things, even in a lot of situations, I'll ask the person, "Are you hungry? Do you need
Mm,
a snack?" Because immediately, if they're in a hostile situation, they're actually like stopping, like, "Wait, food. Did I eat or do I want that?" And before you know it, they've already been redirected, whether they take the snack or not. Just a question that has absolutely nothing to do with the situation takes them out of that moment and takes them and puts them in another place, which gives you the time and the opportunity for redirection. Definitely stay calm. This with any and everybody. Sometimes, we get caught off guard because maybe we're having a moment too. But the more we learn to control who we are and redirect our own selves and stay calm, the easier it is for us to help someone else. That's one of those grounding techniques that you may have to give yourself first. You might have to do that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's good to ask them, "Hey, what color is that?" Because they're looking at you like, what does the color of the wall got to do with this conversation? What is
mm-hmm.
wrong with her? But in that moment, I just redirected everything that we had going on that was negative at the moment. Because they too busy now trying to figure out why I'm asking them what color the wall is, as opposed to what caused that issue in the beginning. So those are definitely things that you think about. You can ask a question that has absolutely nothing to do with whatever's going on. Just pick a random question out the air and just throw it into the mix. Kind of, I like to call it when you have your chicken in the road, to just add something that's totally different. Driving down the street, sometimes we expect to see a deer. You don't really expect to see a chicken in the middle of the road. So that's gonna have you, where did chicken come from? Why is that chicken in the middle of the road? So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you gotta do that with your conversations to kind of redirect things.
All right.
Good.
Sounds
That's
good.
good. I don't have anything to add. That is
All right. So with that, let's see. All right, we're gonna go to activities. What activities stimulate engagement without causing distress? Now that's good. So
yeah.
now, Traps, talk to us.
So I'm trying to see if I have one with. But one of the things we do is think about meaningful activities. Meaningful, engaging activities is so important. Just not giving somebody something to do. And so we actually created this Beyond Box, is engaging beyond dementia. And so
Mm,
it has meaningful religious activities in there because we found that many times we'll just turn the gospel station on and just leave it there, right? And that's not stimulating for that person living with dementia. And so in our box, we have conversation cards that
mm.
are based on maybe things they've done while they were being raised in the church,
All right.
right? Talking about vacation Bible school and things like that. Playing bingo, or even finish this sentence or finish this Bible verses, things like that that we've done with families. And in some of our altar churches, they have started a respite program, and
Okay.
they have implemented these things. And then we also partner with Xenia TV, which is ZINNIA
Okay.
TV. And so it's TV just for those living with dementia. Xenia TV. And so we have also done this with our families. And so they have all different types of channels. So if your person loves babies, you can put the baby channel on, and the way they've paced it, it is perfect for the processing of those living with dementia. They
Hmm.
have religious channels. I mean, it's everything that you can think of.
Wow.
And so instead of just putting on our regular TV, if you do want to put on something like that, this is something that has been developed just for those living with dementia. And they have quizzes, like I said. We also put together, like, and you can do this, putting together a prayer book with them. You, Dr. Yolanda, you talked about the prayer board. You said
Yes.
going to,
Yes.
it's things like that. Those are good stimulating activities that some could do on their own, or they can do with their family. We always think about what can they do to bring the youth in as
Yes.
well and to engage them. And so those are things I just asked to think about. What can we do other than our typical put on whatever that station is and just sit there, either
Yeah.
if it's westerns or it's the station that has like the gospel music,
Right.
going beyond that and think about the other things that we could do.
Oh, that's good. I like that. I like
I
that.
like that, and also I know this morning I introduced the pamphlets that came in the kit that had the Bible word search and the Bible crossword, and
Oh,
then they even had the math problems and things. So I actually introduced those this morning. So those are definitely things. But what I liked about that and what that made me think about was, oh no, I don't have that
you
one.
don't have this one?
No, we have a little small one, so I feel like you didn't pull that out. You just gonna mail it
Ah,
over. You
you
just
got to
gonna
share that with
mail
us.
that
The
over.
brain teaser. This is the cognitive stimulation therapy book. So
Okay.
we also partnered and developed this for older adults living with dementia, and so it's on steroids of what you just said. It has a lot of the other
Yeah, because
activities.
mine was a little folding pamphlet
Oh
with
no,
3 sections, ma'am. I'm gonna need that one.
The resources are coming our way. They're coming.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. But I
Oh, I love
think
it.
definitely those things, and like you say, continuing to find things that challenge the brain. Me personally, I'm an activity person. Like that's what I love to do is an activity. So anytime you can give me an activity and add to it, I'm more apt to do it for the engagement piece. So even how making your own prayer book, because now I'm starting to think about your favorite prayers as well and
Right.
putting those things together. And you can always add the little bling blings to it.
Right.
One of the things that Minister Camille and I, we both love crafts. So we're always finding crafts. So I even found this one where they have the wooden cross and can use that, but you write on it. So it's kind of like you have the I'm enough deal, but on the cross you can write whatever, whether you write your scripture or you just fill it with names of your loved ones, but at the same time you also decorate it. So whether you decide to paint it or just add emblems or other things to it, as
Mhm.
well as making your own spiritual bookmarkers for your books and things like that. So those are like some really good activities too that add on, and every activity is making you think about something. And you can make them your own. Everything you can always make your own, add to or take away what works best for you. Because again, you got to figure out your person. What does your person like to do? And is this going to be something that's enjoyable for them to do as well?
That's good. And you made, because a lot of times we do things that we think that will make us happy, but it's not about us. It's making sure that they're happy and that they're engaging in that, especially if you're trying to reach them and keep them connected, because we don't want to get them to that withdrawal. So doing to do things that are keeping them engaged. Man, this the time is going fast. Yes, we're gonna have you back again, Dr. Epps. Without a shadow of a doubt, we're gonna have you back.
yes,
Um,
yes. I want
so
to come back and overseer. I just want to share. I want to make sure before we
yes.
leave.
Uh-huh.
I do have a course that I'll be opening up this summer. It's called
Okay.
Caregiving While Black. And it
Okay.
actually is talked about some of the things that we just said tonight. And
Okay.
it's for caregivers of color. and it's addressing the unique experiences that we have living in America and trying to get the health outcomes that we deserve. And
Okay.
so within Caregiving While Black, we are teaching our caregivers how to advocate, how to
Okay.
be empowered. And so we're addressing how you take care of home life, right?
Mm,
Manage that. Understanding where you live may impact some things.
mhm.
Also, how to navigate the healthcare system. Many times, no one took time to break down the system to us. And
Right.
how many, I mean, a doctor's appointment, you have 15 minutes. How you get what you need out of 15 minutes? And we go through that. And then
Hmm.
we also talk about self care because sometimes it's so easy to lose who you are
Yes.
in this. And when your person passed away, you're lost. And so
Yes.
we want to make sure we talk about those things as well. And so please do email me if you're interested, and I can send you all the link just to put your name on the list. So when we open it up, we can contact you. And my email is info@drfayron.com. And we give you a workbook and a manual. And so people call me because they've taken this course before and they say, "Can I share?" And I say, "Yes, that's what this is about." And so, even if no one else in your family wants to take the course, you take it and you can share the resources.
Mhm.
So I just want to kind of put that plug in there so people know what I'm working on. And I'm training people in the community. So Dr.
Mhm.
Yolanda or if anybody else at True
I'm
Black,
Yes.
coming, hands.
Are
I'm
you?
coming.
if they want to
Just
be a
like I'm going to
facilitator,
Atlanta.
okay,
Woohoo.
that's the next thing. So if they want to become a facilitator, just send me their information because we'll
Okay.
start training our facilitators this spring so they can offer the course.
All right.
And it'll be like a paid training. So
Yay.
just send that to me and we can share more information. And Dr. Yolanda, I'll put your name on the list. So once we have everything ready, we can let you know. So
Yes,
I
ma'am.
just want to put that out there and invite
Oh, that's so
everybody
good.
to Atlanta. If you want to learn more of this, right, and you can't wait to the course and you are able to come to Atlanta, April the 23rd through the 25th, we invite you to come to the Alter Dementia Summit. And this is where we're bringing community together so
Uh-huh.
we can create our own solutions and we don't have to wait on others like
Mhm.
many have been doing and nothing is changing. And so my goal is to bring us together. We have too many skills in
Mhm.
our community, too much knowledge, too many degrees. We are very
Yes,
accomplished as a community. If we come together, we
There
can
you go.
create our own solutions and be able to put things in place in our community to help this
Mhm.
crisis that is actually going on. And we invite youth. So we have a youth track this time too. And because we need to educate our youth. They're in the
Yeah.
household. So we
Yeah.
talk about a lot of adult things, but we don't forget the youth that
yes,
you go tell
That's
to
good.
bring Nana some water.
Right.
And Nana spits at them when they give the water. So what has that done to
Right.
my young daughter's mind, and just not think about our young black males. So those are things we don't want to
Mhm.
overlook. We don't want to tell them to sit down and just do as I say. We want to make sure
yes,
that they know what's going on with Nana, that
Right.
they understand it and know that Nana still loves them. But these are the things that they need to be aware of. And then it
Mhm.
helps their skills level. Once they graduate high school, I work with another guy where he's partnering so they can get jobs because now they've been trained when they work with us about these things. So
Uh-huh.
just be on the lookout. We got a lot of things going.
Woo. When you send
excited.
us the flyer, I will send it out. I'll send it to the church and the community. They can let us know. They can come over to True Vine International Church to learn more about the altar program. Yes.
Tell them again. Come on over to True Vine International Church. Yes.
Oh gosh. So that was part of our words of wisdom, but I asked you each let's go words of wisdom, and we have Dr. Epps close us out in prayer. Um, please type the email address. Dr. Epps, um, Deaconess Renee is wanting the address.
Yes, info at
Great.
drfayron.com and it's
Uh-huh.
drfayron.com.
And now make sure I have it right. Info at drfarron.com.
That's it.
All right, I put it in the chat. It's in the chat. There you go. All right. Let them know if you want to be a part of that.
Mhm.
My words of wisdom is Come and be a part of our altar program at True Vine Element, True Vine International Church, 1357 Rice Road. Every third Wednesday, we are going to be talking about something that is helping us to know more about the altar program. Dr. Yolanda and Donald will be doing activities. So get in touch with Dr. Yolanda and you can be a part of this. We're excited where God is taking us this year. Oh my gosh, so much good stuff. Dr. Yolanda, go ahead and we'll have Dr. Epps close us out.
You know what? I'm at a loss for words. Can you believe it? I am truly excited about the doors that God is opening. But more than anything, I'm excited about the partnership. I'm excited about what God is doing within our community and
Yes.
how we're having to reach back like it was back in the day of taking care of each other and putting our resources together to help one another, no matter how much education we have. So my words for wisdom will, let's continue to take back our community. Let's continue to uplift each other and let's continue to evolve our community.
Amen. Amen. So, Dr. Epps, we put it in your hands.
Yeah, and before I go into prayer, I got to put a little plug in for my book.
Oh, let's see. Yes.
So, and that this is my words of wisdom. It's from faith to action. So, y'all, we just can't operate in faith and prayer alone. We have to take action with it. And if you go to my
Yeah.
website, you can get more information on the book and purchase the book, which is the website is drfayron.com. But it's also available on Barnes and Noble, Books a Million. Amazon says sold out. I don't know what that's about. But it's available even on Walmart. It's available walmart.com. But please, this book is to again ignite fire so we can
Yes.
take action no matter where you are or who you are in part of this care team. We're going to pray, but we're going to take action as well, and
Yes.
that's what I want to encourage you all about this. So book from faith to action, y'all support me, okay? uh,
Yes.
We'll do.
We gonna buy a couple of books. We're
I'm
gonna
gonna need mine signed. I'm just
mine
letting you
too.
know.
Bishop and I, we want ours signed as well. So we would definitely do that.
all right, just send me a little note and I can make
Yes.
that happen. I have some at the house.
That will work. Our theme this year is faith to move mountains. And we just talked about how we are moving into action. You said we done did enough talking, but now it's time to move.
Oh, I
So
love
this is
Yes.
perfect. Yes.
Oh, that is perfect. All
Yes.
right. Well, as we close out in prayer, if we can just take that moment. Gracious God, we thank you for our time together this evening. We thank you for all the information that we learned. We thank you for the exchange of knowledge that has occurred here. And as we leave this space, we ask that this information that we've learned, that it actually stir our hearts to take action. Bless our hands to serve, our minds to understand, and our spirits to keep shining in the life of those that we're caring for that may be having dementia, to keep shining in the life of those that are living with dementia. Keep us united in purpose, peace, and until we meet again. In your son Jesus' name, amen.
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 Well, we want to ask you to join us on next week for Words for the Soul, same time, same place, 6 o'clock p.m. You have a wonderful time and we love you. Don't forget to like and tag this segment. And you can also find us on Spotify and YouTube. Amen. See you.